What's good with y'all boys, man? We back with another banger, man. On today's video, we got a little something different. And I feel like I can relate to this video. I mean, I don't know about relate, but I can probably speak on it because I played AAU basketball from 5th grade to junior year, because junior year I didn't get to play because I tore my Achilles. So I really played to my sophomore year, but anyways, the dark side of AAU basketball. Everybody know the bright side with the, you know what I'm saying, it'll get you more, it'll put you out there more, you play a better comp. Mind you, I am on Beam for the video. I am on Beam, you know what I'm saying, got my sponge back. We quit on the waves, bro, I ain't gonna lie. Quit on the waves, my hair just grow too fast, bro, honestly. But yeah, man, the dark side of AAU basketball. Let's see what they gotta say let's see what the Hoop Files, 3.49K subscribers. Check them out.
If you've ever wondered how America produces so many basketball prodigies, this is where it starts. AAU, the Amateur Athletic Union. It's supposed to be the dream circuit, where kids get discovered, earn scholarships, and chase their shot at the NBA. But behind the mixtapes, the highlight reels, and the billion-dollar shoe deals,
I ain't gonna lie, our AAU basketball team, Champagne Heat, I ain't gonna cap. That last year I played, nobody was fucking with us, gang. I ain't gonna lie. Our starting five was like we was dead ass like an all-star team, gang. Like everybody in the area, that was like we had damn near all the best players in the area on one team type shit. Midwest, Central Illinois type shit. They was all on Champagne during 2020. Yeah, like 2020, 2021, around that era. Yeah, bro, I ain't gonna lie. Nobody was fucking with us. No bullshit.
lies a system that's quietly corrupting the soul of youth basketball.
Really?
Today, AAU isn't about development. It's about exposure. It's not about teaching the game. It's about selling it. And the ones paying the price aren't the scouts, the brands, or the agents. They're the kids. From exploitation, burnout, and manipulation to coaches chasing sponsorships instead of fundamentals. AAU has become a business first and a sport second. And the deeper you dig, the darker it gets.
But how? I guess he'll explain.
Because what's happening...
Because, bro, at the end of the day, it's the kids out there playing, bro. So if you out there hooping, you gonna get your exposure, bro. But on top of that, you do got to be able to connect with people and know how to network.
Inside America's AAU basketball circuit might just be the reason so many young stars burn out before they ever make it in the league. Before it became a billion-dollar machine, AAU basketball actually stood for something pure. It was founded back in 1888, long before the NBA even existed, as part of a nationwide effort to organize youth sports and teach discipline, teamwork, and community values. For most of the 20th century, AAU wasn't about fame or exposure, it was about development. Local coaches ran small community programs. Kids played for fun, for competition, for pride. There were no shoe deals, no viral clips, no coaches promising scholarships before puberty. By the 1980s and early 90s, AAU started to evolve into a legitimate feeder system, helping talent...
Bro, so AAU basketball was around in 1888, nigga. That's like almost 200 years ago, my nigga.
...to players like Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Garnett, and Kobe Bryant find the spotlight. Back then, the structure still made sense.
And if I didn't get injured, he would have said damn near my name too.
Region tournaments, real coaching, and genuine growth. But then came the money. When shoe companies like Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour realized they could use teenage prospects to build brand loyalty, everything changed. They poured millions into AAU circuits, sponsoring teams, paying coaches, and creating entire leagues where the best 15-year-olds could be paraded around like mini celebrities. That was the turning point. The moment AAU went from grassroots basketball to corporate basketball. From teaching fundamentals to chasing followers. And once the corporations took over, the soul of the system never came back. Because what happens when billion-dollar brands start running youth basketball? They don't just control the jerseys, they start controlling the kids who wear them. Once the shoe companies got involved, AAU basketball stopped being about basketball. It became about branding, marketing, and the race to sign the next phenom before anyone else could.
I feel like that's an argument though, bro. Because at the end of the day, like I said, it's the kids playing, bro. And no matter what they wear, nigga, it's a jersey, bro. You better put that jersey on and hoop. You feel me?
By the
Or
early
am I tripping?
2000s, the big three, Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour, had completely taken over the youth basketball scene. Each brand created its own national circuit. Nike's EYBL, Elite Youth Basketball League, Adidas 3SSB, and Under Armour's Association. And suddenly teenagers were playing on corporate battlefields, wearing logos that were worth more than the gyms they played in. These companies didn't just sponsor tournaments, they sponsored kids. They funded teams, paid for coaches' travel, and handed out free gear to keep the next prodigy loyal. But it wasn't charity, it was investment. If one of those kids made the NBA and signed a shoe deal later, that brand would own the pipeline that created him. It's genius marketing, and quietly, it's exploitation. Because these are kids, not professionals.
Right.
They're learning from day one that performance equals access. That if they don't play well, the gear, the travel, the exposure, it all disappears. And for every one prodigy who makes it big, like Zion Williamson, Ja Morant, or Jason Tatum, there are hundreds who get burned out, forgotten, or discarded the moment they no longer are profitable.
Wow.
Even coaches get caught in the system. Many now chase brand deals instead of development, building super teams to win sponsored tournaments rather than teaching kids how to actually play.
I mean, I can see that too, because coaches did used to be wilding with that. But that's the thing about our team, bro. We had the same squad for so long. So I don't know. I guess it's just the bigger teams.
It's not about who can grow the most. It's about who can win now. Because winning means attention, and attention means money.
British.
AAU basketball became capitalism in sneakers, and the players became the product. But it's not just the shoe companies making profit. There's another layer of control in the ecosystem, one that's even murkier.
Really?
Because behind every big AAU team, there's almost always a man pulling the strings, who's not even a coach. Behind every successful AAU program, there's always someone working the phones, a recruiter, a mentor, a family friend. In reality, they're handlers, middlemen who build relationships with promising kids and their parents, promising exposure, sponsorships, and scholarships, all in exchange for access. At first glance, it looks harmless. They pay for meals, arrange travel, introduce players to scouts, maybe even land them a sneaker deal. But what most families don't realize is that these handlers are often connected to brands, agents, and college recruiters, operating in the shadows of NCAA rules. They're not helping out of kindness, they're building leverage. Once a kid becomes a hot prospect, everyone wants a piece. AAU coaches push them to attend certain tournaments to please sponsors. Handlers push them toward specific colleges aligned with shoe brands. Agents hover nearby, waiting for the moment that kid turns 18. By the time these players hit college, they're already tied up in invisible contracts of loyalty. They've been told which brand to wear, which camp to attend, even which school fits their style. And if they or their families push back, the support vanishes overnight. It's a system that preys on desperation. Most of these families don't have the money for elite training or exposure. So when someone shows up promising
Hold up right quick.
opportunity, they say yes. But what they don't see is that every favor comes with a string attached. The 2017 FBI investigation into college basketball exposed how deep this rabbit hole goes. Adidas executives, college coaches, and AAU power brokers caught funneling money and gifts to families to secure commitments. And that's just the part we know about. Because in AAU basketball, loyalty isn't earned, it's bought. And when buying starts at 14 years old, development stops mattering. The dream turns into a transaction.
Also, you got to kind of put that on the parents too, because you got to put them in the right program, bro. And if your kid good enough, he going to get that exposure, bro. Simple as that. Like, nowadays, we got the technology where you can deadass record your own kid, son or daughter, and put that shit out there and tag coaches. And if you do that every game, every tournament, bro, they're going to get some exposure, especially if they're good, bro. But then again, if you got a parent that's just a yes man and is just all about, whatever he hears, I guess I can see what you're saying. But so you got to kind of blame it on the parents, though. But as the kids, bro, like, if they hooping, hey, go get your money, bro. Go get your brand. But at the end of the day, if it was my son, or daughter, you going to come when we leave that coach, you going to get your ass up on that court. You going to practice some more. You're going to keep getting better, because that's what I used to do. I used to go practice on my own. Nigga, like, you got to get better on your own, bro. You can't just be going through the program the whole time. So I do see what he's saying, but, like, it's a way, like, around it.
And that's where things get even darker. Because the system isn't just failing kids morally, it's failing them physically. What happens when you take children, overwork them, and turn basketball into a year-round grind for profit? In theory, playing year-round should make you better. In reality, it's destroying a generation of players.
Ooh.
AAU has turned basketball into a non-stop carousel of tournaments, showcases, and travel events.
Nah, like that, what's it called? The MHTV or some shit with the green and purple jerseys. Nah, that's some bullshit. Like, I wouldn't even have signed up for that shit back in the day, bro. It's literally 1-on-5. Like, whoever get the rebound, they taking that shit and they just going, bro. Because they grabbing random motherfuckers. I see what he's saying about shit like that, like the showcases and shit. That is kind of crazy.
Kids as young as 10 or 11 play 80 to 100 games a year, often on multiple teams. There's no off-season, no rest, and no focus on fundamentals. Just constant performance. Coaches don't have time to fix mechanics or teach decision-making. They're too busy winning the next weekend's tournament. The message to players is clear. If you sit out, you're forgotten. So they play through injuries, skip recovery, and stack up miles on still growing joints.
Yeah.
By the time many reach college, their bodies are already worn down. Torn ACLs, stress fractures, chronic knee pain.
Damn, so is that what happened to me?
Problems that used to show up in late pros are now hitting high schoolers. And mentally, they're exhausted. The joy of basketball, the creativity, the freedom, gets replaced by pressure and fear. You're only as valuable as your last stat line, and every bad game feels like the end of your dream. Even college coaches have complained that AAU is producing highlight players instead of basketball players. Guys who can dunk and handle the ball but can't read defenses, rotate, or defend, because they were never taught how. This is the disturbing cycle. The shoe companies need stars, the coaches need wins, the tournament needs views, and the kids, they just need rest. But in AAU, rest doesn't sell. And what makes this worse isn't that it doesn't just affect the player's health, it warps how they see the game itself. Because when profit replaces passion, the love for basketball dies long before the dream ever does. Basketball used to be taught, now it's performed, and nowhere is that clearer than in the AAU system. Ask any old school coach, and they'll tell you, today's players can pull off insane highlights, but can't run a proper set, defend a pick and roll, or make the extra pass. That's not their fault, it's the system's. In AAU, winning and exposure come first. So players learn what gets them attention. Flashy crossovers, deep threes, dunks, and mixtape moments. No one's teaching spacing, defensive rotations, or team concepts.
Do AAU teams even run plays anymore? He acting like they don't even run plays no more. Bro, we had plays that were numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and up, all the way to like probably like 7. I don't know, some shit. But then we had like motion and shit like that. But like our main plays was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You know what I'm saying? Do they even run plays anymore? Because if not, that's crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
Because those don't go viral.
He making it seem like they go out there and just nigga playing 5-on-5 pickup basketball. That's what he making it seem like.
College
Y'all let me know.
and NBA coaches constantly complain about this. They get top recruits who've been stars their whole lives, but never learn how to play within a system. The fundamentals, footwork, IQ, discipline, they're gone. And when the lights get brighter, those missing skills get exposed. It's why scouts say America's talent pool looks deeper than ever, but feels shallower than ever. The raw athleticism is off the charts, But the basketball brains, not so much. Meanwhile, other countries like Spain, France, and Australia have overtaken the US in player development. They focus on structure, team play, and long-term growth, not endless games. That's why global basketball has caught up. And in some cases, passed the US in fundamentals. AAU turned the game into a show. And when basketball becomes entertainment instead of education, the skill gap flips. But here's the scary part. AAU's influence doesn't stop at the court. Because the system isn't just shaping how kids play basketball, it's shaping how they see themselves. The real damage of AAU basketball isn't just physical, it's mental. When a kid grows up inside this system, basketball stops being a passion and starts being an identity. You're not just a player, you are the player. The second you stop performing, that identity starts to crumble. In AAU, kids are ranked, graded, and judged before they even hit puberty. A bad weekend can tank your rating. A highlight can make you go viral. That roller coaster creates a pressure most adults couldn't handle.
Damn,
And these are 14 and 15-year-olds living with it every day. Social media only makes it worse. Every game is filmed. Every mistake is online forever. Players start chasing clout instead of improvement. Training to impress, not to get better.
Like, imagine being in AAU nowadays, bro. Oh my gosh. You can literally post after every game a highlight that you did, and you're going to look like you raw as hell. Damn, that's crazy, bro. Wow. Man.
The reward system
He not lying, though.
flips. Likes and followers replace discipline and patience. For some, that pressure breaks them. Burnout, depression, and anxiety are becoming more common among youth athletes than ever before. And when you're being told your whole life that basketball is your way out, your dream, your everything, walking away feels like failure, not freedom.
Yeah.
And the most disturbing truth is this.
Well, I stopped playing. I thought my life was over. I'm trolling.
The AAU system doesn't care who burns out, as long as the machine keeps running. Because for every kid that...
Nah, yeah, that is facts, though. Because, damn, so the dark side, basically what he's saying is, they don't even give a fuck about the kids nowadays. They just going for the money, and they trying to build their brand and their team to maybe team up with Nike or team up with Adidas or become maybe from a high school scout to a college scout to an NBA, you know? Like, damn.
There's another waiting to take his spot. Another jersey to sell. Another story to promote. The game that was supposed to save kids from the streets now eats them alive. And the scariest part, this isn't just an American problem anymore. It's the model the rest of the world is starting to copy. AAU basketball was supposed to be a gateway, a path to college, to opportunity, to the dream. But somewhere along the way, it became the very thing it swore to fight against. A system that uses kids instead of teaches them. What was once a community of coaches and players chasing growth turned into a business of tournaments, sponsorships, and highlight reels. The kids became the currency and the game became the product. Some will make it through. A few will get drafted, sign million-dollar deals, and escape the machine. But for every one success story, there are hundreds of forgotten names. Kids who were told they were the next big thing, only to be discarded when they stopped being useful. And maybe that's the most disturbing truth of all. AAU doesn't change how players play basketball. It changes how they see it. A game built on love, creativity, and teamwork, reduced to likes, rankings, and contracts. Because in America, basketball was never supposed to be this commercial. But now, even childhood dreams come with a price tag. This is the disturbing truth about American AAU basketball,
Wow.
where the next generation of stars are being built and broken at the same time.
Damn, well, I guess that's the dark side of AAU basketball, bro. But if we being real, bro, like all that anxiety, depression, and shit, like, let's be real. At the end of the day, when we talk about basketball, bro, we can't forget, like, this ain't no little kids. This is a grown man sport. And if you're not good enough, bro, you're just simply not going to make it, bro. Like, come on, gang. It's what they say, under 1% makes it to the league. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. If you don't got it, you don't got it. And if you do got it, That you could literally use this to your advantage, bro. As long as you keep a level head on your shoulders and you got good parents that'll like keep you on the same damn near same team, bro. Like unless, you know what I'm saying, some shit goes down, but like there should be no reason why you out here chasing this and that. When you just trying to get to college for the first of all, you trying to get to that level. Then once you get to college, they doing NILs and shit. So damn, basically what he's saying is just a big business now instead of being more about the kids and basketball, bro. Hey, shout out to shout out to the Hoop Files, man. Do y'all think this was kind of true? Like there's a dark, deeper side of AAU basketball, or is he stretching that shit, bro? Y'all let me know.